Up high, down low, in the middle.
You're too slow. Hey everyone, Alan here from the wildrift team. We're sneaking, creeping, and crab walking into our next patch, and as weird as that sounds, I promise it's a good thing. This update brings 2 new champions, even more changes for tanks, and of course, a bunch of new skins and events. So let's dive in together. Welcome to Wildrift Patch 4.1, High Five. As in, that's the patch name. Anyway, now I'll hand it off to Maddie to talk about our champions.
Hey everyone, Maddie here from the Champions team. I hope I didn't surprise you too much. First up, we're bringing a menacing new force to Barren Lane to strike fear into the hearts of your enemies. With chemdrills, of course, Urgot the Dreadnought is ready to show the true meaning of strength to anyone in his path. Urgot is a monstrous mix of man and machine who destroys the weak with a mix of busted up Zon tech and good old brute force. If you're ready to bring out the big guns, this champ is for you. Oh, and the guns are in his legs, which is super important. Urgot's attacks trigger a blast of flame from the leg that's closest to his target. This can apply from each of his 6 legs, and each has its own cooldown, so you'll want to literally run circles around your opponents to deal the most damage. This also works with his second ability, Purge, which allows Urgot to continuously fire while he moves, so keep on crab walking to bring down your enemies. Even after all that, Urgot's ultimate is the real star of the show. Use Fear Beyond Death to chain up a champion. If their health falls low enough, Urgot grinds them into dust, executing them. How's that for metal? If you're looking for a new Barren Laner to decimate your opponents, Urgot is your pick for a terrifying time. Or you can really test your worth by bringing him to the jungle. Just keep your positioning in mind and you won't get off on the wrong foot. Or leg, I guess. Up next, we've got someone just as green, but not quite so mean. Twitch, the Plague Rat, is prepping to pop out of hiding into Wild Rift. You'll probably smell him before you see him. Twitch is a marksman whose attacks apply poison with every hit. His first ability, Ambush, grants him camouflage and move speed. When he exits camouflage, his attacks will stack even more poison. Plus, this ability resets when an infected enemy dies, so you can really lurk to your heart's content. Twitch's ultimate, Spray and Pray, is exactly what it sounds like. While he ults, Twitch gains bonus range, attack damage, and he'll fire piercing bolts that hit all enemies in a line. This makes him pretty deadly in big fights, and lets him poison an entire team with ease. Follow up with your third ability, Contaminate, to damage enemies based on how many stacks of poison they have. When you contaminate someone with max stacks, the damage will spread to nearby enemies and they'll gain a poison stack. So get ready to be super sneaky. With Twitch by your side, you'll delete your enemies before they can even say cheese. So those are our new champions for the High Five patch. Though they might not look too friendly, they're definitely worth a team up. Get out there and give them a try. And now David will show us what's on hand for gameplay.
Hey friends, if we haven't met, I'm David, game lead on Wildrift. Last patch, we had a bunch of item reworks to improve the tank experience. And while we're happy with the improvements, we also wanted to introduce brand new options that really shook up how players approach the role and the decisions they had to make. Don't worry, we haven't forgot about the other roles. We'll have some updates for marksmen in the next patch. Anyways though, let's get into your new tank items to experiment with. Amaranth Twin Guards grant stacks of endurance when you're in combat with enemy champions. At maximum stacks, you'll gain size, tenacity, armor, and magic resist, and these bonuses last till you exit combat. Could we add some more mechanics into this? Is this all we got? Jokes aside, you can think of this item kinda like Rabadon's Death Cap for tanks. It is a late game finishing touch to your build that grants a ton of power, but it works best once you already have some of the other tank items going. Mantle of the 12th Hour offers a lifeline for when you're face tanking tons of damage. When your health will be reduced below a certain threshold, you'll heal for part of your bonus health. And you'll also gain slow resistance and movement speed. This is a great pickup for champions that rely on being super hard to kill while also being able to peel for their carries, like Scion or Singed. With this item, they'll be able to create space for the carries a bit more effectively. To really heat things up, we're introducing another burn damage item. With Searing Crown, your attacks or abilities will burn your target for a few seconds, dealing damage based on their max health. Now this still applies even if you already have Sunfire Cape, so it's possible to double up on the flames. Now though, let's get into our item reworks for this patch. Abyssal Mask has been really good on just a Mumu. And we want items to be viable for, well, more than one champion. And so we got some changes to make. We're replacing Abyssal Mask's passive that amplifies magic damage dealt. Instead, when you take magic damage, you'll store up part of it. When you immobilize your enemy, your stored up charges will explode, dealing magic damage in a small area. Force of Nature is getting a new passive. Starting this patch, taking ability damage will grant stacks of Steadfast. At max stacks, you'll gain movement speed and reduce all incoming magic damage. Stack duration is refreshed when you damage enemy champions, so you'll be able to hold your own in fights for long. We've also got some small stat adjustments planned for Thornmail, Sunfire Cape, and Bramble Vest to keep them on par with our other items. You can read the exact numbers for these changes in the patch notes, as usual. And that covers our gameplay section for the High 5 patch. Look out for a recap and more context in the upcoming issues of Wildrift News. We've been pretty happy with how our previous tank changes have landed, and we hope you'll let us know if we're still on the right track with these changes. We're changing how the account leveling system works. Hitting level 40 in Wildrift is meant to be an important milestone, and with so many of our players achieving it over the last year, we wanted to provide additional ways for you to feel your investment in Wildrift. Now, once you hit level 40, you'll unlock a prestige level system, where additional levels will give you stars that are showcased in your profile and other visible areas. As you keep leveling up, all of your stars will show off your growth. We'll be looking to add more rewards to this system later, so keep an eye out for the future. Now, Alan will lend me a hand to finish up this patch preview.
Ranked Season 9 is here. This patch, we're bidding a fond farewell to the glorious Crimson skins because we've got something new in store. This season, we're exploring marvelous new seas with glorious Armada Twisted Fate. With no shortage of warships and wild ideas at his disposal, there's nothing that can keep this captain from greatness. So anchors away, set sail into ranked games to collect him from the Season Rewards tab and fly some new colors with his weapon augment upgrade in the ranked store. We also have changes for the highest tiers of ranked. Starting this season, promotion to Grandmaster will require 40 marks. That means the number of marks required to be in that tier will stay the same throughout the season rather than changing based on the top % of players in your server. Also, promoting to Challenger will need at least 60 marks, up from 40 in previous seasons. To be in this tier, you'll have to be one of the top players on your server as usual, so keep on climbing. We're keeping a close eye on how the Grandmaster adjustment will affect the distribution of the top players in Ranked, and we'll have more changes to come in Season 10. For Wild Pass Season 9, we've got a new hero to save the day, or wreck it. Superhero Vi swoops in at the end of the Wild Pass, complete with flaming gauntlets and a cool secret identity. For an even punchier new look, grab her Ascended skin from the Wild Pass Emporium. We're still cleaning up all the paper cuttings from Lunar New Year, but while we're at it, let's get a preview of the events coming in Patch High 5. First, we've got another trivia event for Urgot's release. Polish up your knowledge because he really doesn't tolerate failure.
The weak are condemned.
Just kidding, of course. You'll see a bunch of silly shenanigans coming up for April Fools. Like usual, you'll complete a bunch of missions to earn rewards, but in honor of the holiday, we've thrown in a dash of chaos. This might be our most serious challenge yet. Complete everything, and we'll be really impressed. To wrap it up, or rat it up, we'll have an event for Twitch's launch. We're excited to welcome our sneaky little friend to the Rift, and we promise it won't be as rotten as he'd hoped. That would be difficult. We're nearing the end of this patch preview, so it's time to take a peek at our new skins. From silly to celestial, we hope you'll find something to bring fresh light to your look. Plus, we've finally got skins to celebrate the first Wildrift World Champions, Nova Esports. Pick up the Nova skins next patch and you'll definitely feel like a winner. Anyway, let's hand over our latest montage. That's a wrap on our patch preview for 4.1. Get ready to grab some new tank items, and we hope you'll live out your sneakiest, scariest games yet with our new champions. As always, let us know what you think. I wish I had another hand pun for the end of this video, but I can't quite put my finger on one. Oh well. Maybe I'll craft it up later. Or should I say forge? That's all for now, and I'll see you on the Rift for the High 5 update.